What? What? I haven't started playing it yet. I haven't started playing it yet. Can you hear my voice? Yes, can you hear my voice?
If you see it through my eyes, if you see it all. If you see it through my eyes, if you see it.
have 6 people so far. What? 2 minutes to go. Seconds. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Amherst Live. Let me know if you're here in the chat. Comment, let me know. You'll understand this getup here in just a little bit. Yeah, it got cut off. I'll fix that later. It was supposed to say, "Are you ready?" So we know Naomi's here. Anyone else? Let me know if you're here in the chat. Let me know your favorite restaurant. I love Dairy Queen. That's my favorite place to eat. Dairy Queen's pretty good. I know we have 11 people watching. 12. If you need to sign in, you can take a moment to do so. You just sign into either your Google or YouTube account, and that will give you the option to be able to talk in the chat. Anything pizza, the keg, always good. I love pizza. Pizza's so good. Anyone else? Favorite restaurant? Give me your favorite restaurant in the chat. Or just say hello. Let me know you're here. Oh, we have someone new. Likes Montana's. Montana's is very good too. Welcome. Marshland and Sackville. That's also really good. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about Montana's. Oh, their beef and steak are so good. So yummy. Anyone else? Favorite restaurant in the chat? And we'll get started here. Woo's. Good Chinese food. I know I'm looking forward to when I can have like Montana's or Frank and Gino's. Yeah, Frank and Gino's is closed too. Subway. Subway's also really good. Gotta love those subs. Cold cut. It's my favorite with bologna. Zito's, also really good. Really exciting. Well, we're glad that everyone is here tonight, and we're going to have a great time just kind of interacting with one another. And I hope you are ready. You are ready just to go, because you're going to be running around a little bit in your house, because that's why I'm dressed like this. You're going on a treasure hunt tonight. Except I'm telling you what you're going to hunt. But you have to let me know that you found the treasure. Who's excited? Who's excited? Let me know in the chat if you're excited to hunt some treasure. Maybe a few people are excited. Maybe a couple people. Maybe they're not excited because they don't exactly know what they're looking for. If you're new, if you just signed in, remember we're looking for your favorite restaurant. Let us know your favorite restaurant in the chat, and then we're going to search for some treasure. We're going to be looking around different rounds. Now, if you are going to be playing the game, there is something you need to know. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you contact the nice, beautiful Naomi Jewel Melanson. If you have her on Facebook, then you already have that contact information. If you have her email, you can send it there as well. Facebook is typically the fastest, but what you're going to do is you're going to send a picture to Naomi. Now, a picture of what? That's a good question. Just if you are playing, we ask that you send Naomi a message right now, and just send her a message. Let her know that you are playing. And that way you have that contact already open. So send her a message right now. Just be like, hey, I'm playing the game. Of course, probably you're wondering, what game are we playing? Well, you're going to be going on a treasure hunt. That's like a scavenger hunt. You're going to be looking for things. I have a list of things on the back of this paper that you can kind of see through the paper, but I'm not going to reveal it yet, because you are going to have 5 minutes to go and get these 5 objects. This is the first round. You're going to have 5 minutes to go get these objects. You get 1 point for each object that you find. But you also get points for how quick you get back. So if you are back in less than a minute, you get 5 points. If you're back in less than 2 minutes, you get 4 points. 3 minutes, 3 points. 4 minutes, 2 points. In less than 5 minutes, 1 point. But that will just help keep accurate score. So if you haven't already, send Naomi that message, and she can let you know that she has received it and that you are good to go. But we're going to get ready to start our first round of the game.
I only have 4 people right now.
So just make sure you send her that message real quick. If you don't have her on Facebook, you can send her a message, or you can or if you don't have her on Facebook, say it in the chat and let me know so she can be on the lookout for getting a message response from you. So if you don't have Naomi Jewel Melanson on Facebook, just let us know in the chat, and she will be on the lookout for a message from you so that it will all run smoothly. So what you're going to do, once you get all the objects that you have to take 1 picture of the objects, and send it to Naomi. Not 5 pictures, just 1. Just 1 picture. That's all we need. And that way it'll be easier to keep track of everything. So if you only get 4 items, you're going to send her a picture of 4 items. If you get 5 items, you're going to send her a picture of all 5 items in that 1 picture. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you have any other questions about that. But if not, we're going to get ready to go here in just a moment. Anyone have any questions? Or if you're ready to go, just shout something in the chat. Be like, yeah, woohoo! Or let's go! Or you're just biting at the bit to go. Just let us know. Oh. And just so you know, in case you're like, I don't know if I want to play, there is a prize for whoever comes in first place. So, I can't tell you what it is. It's a surprise. Alright. I am going to reveal the first round. You have 5 minutes. I will put a timer up on the screen. Get ready to go. There you go. There are your 5 items. You can take a screenshot. You can write them down real quick, but your time is running right now. I'll keep this up for a couple more seconds. All right. Have fun. If you need to see it again, let me know in the chat. Remember, send her a message. I'm going to put on some music again, just so we can have something to listen to in the background. We have 3.5 minutes left. When you get back, you can also let me know in the chat that you've got back. I'll say hello. Quick people. Good to know, Ryland. Thank you for letting us know that your whole family's back. Just over 2 minutes to go. How's everyone's day? Let us know in the chat how your day was, what you do. Feel Lucy out for a walk. Lucy's our chocolate lab mix. Took her out for a walk. She has a nose that she really hates, and but it's so that we can have a little bit more control over her. And but we had a nice walk with her today. It's a little nice weather out. It's a little windy, but at least it's not snowing like it was this morning. Minute and a half to go. Thankful for this music. 30 seconds. Five. And we are done. We are ready to go. All right. Everyone sent in all their pictures to Naomi. She will tally up the scores that we will have for the first round. And we're just going to go into a little something else here before we head into the second round. There are 3 rounds total. So hopefully you didn't use all of your energy in the first round. But we're thankful for that music that we have. It's from a YouTube. There's no copyright on this music, so we're able to use it for our streams. We're very thankful for that. And we have a playlist that we use. If you'd like to know what it is, we can send you the playlist later on. But it's nice to have that extra sound in the background going on while we're searching around. But at this time, we're going to open it up for any questions in the chat now. Some of you know that we are Amherst Wesleyan Church, and we're located in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And we're opening up some time just if people in the chat have questions about God, the Bible, especially at this time with COVID-19 and isolation. Maybe you've had some questions come up, but I want to open it up. You can write your question in the chat, or you can send it to me on Facebook if you don't want to ask it in the chat. That's also an option. Or send it to Naomi. And but I'm going to open up our chat right now, and if I'm going to get the first question, I'll do my best to answer it. But yeah, if you have any questions whatsoever about God, about the Bible, about Christianity, we're looking to see how we're looking to see what kind of questions they have. So yeah, any questions? Just type them out in the chat. Don't be scared. Questions are good. We enjoy having questions. And there's no such thing as a bad question. I'm looking forward to hearing what kind of questions you might have. And hopefully I can give a good answer. But we'll just wait a couple moments for a question in the chat. Don't be shy. You might even have a question that you know the answer to, but you may want me to answer it for either someone else or someone that has a question. Oh, that's a good one. How can we know for sure that God is in control? That is a really good question. Especially with this time, with COVID-19 and everything just kind of up in the air. How do we know that God is in control? Like, how do we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that God is in control? Well, for me, I look back at how God has proven himself over and over and over again, whether through history or even in my own life. I know from my viewpoint right here, I'm only seeing what's going on right now in this moment. And I don't necessarily see what's going on ahead of me. And so I have to put my trust into someone or put my trust into God that he knows what's going on. And so it's kind of like this analogy. I'm going to use my dog because it works well with this. But Lucy, the reason why we got her a nose halter on for her nose for when we take her for a walk is because she loves to go everywhere. She loves to smell everything. She loves to just run around. If we're walking, she's like zigzagging back and forth the whole time, trying to smell every single thing that we come against. If she sees another dog, she wants to go over and say hi to the dog. If she sees another person, she wants to go say hi to the person. If she sees a cat, she wants to go chase after the cat. And so I got her this halter to just kind of have a little bit more control because I have a better viewpoint of what's going on. And so sometimes when she's going crazy like this, she swings out into the road. And that can be really dangerous for her because what if a car is coming at that exact moment? She could get hit. And so I have to hold on to the leash. I have to bring her back and have that little more control in that moment. Now, she doesn't understand. She just sees a smell. She just has this intense desire to go after whatever it is that she's going after. That's all she sees in that moment. But I have a better idea of what's going on. And so I have this control over her and trying to keep her in the path and walking straight. And so how that relates with God is God sees everything. God knows what's going on. He knows what's going on today. He knows what's going to be going on tomorrow. He knows what's going to be going on 100 years from now. And so we have to trust in him because he's already proven himself over and over again in the past. We've seen him work. I've seen him work in my own life. He's healed my legs when I was a young kid. Other people have stories of healings and how God has worked, how he's proven himself to them over and over again. And throughout the Bible, we see this, that God works in ways that we don't necessarily understand. The story of Abraham, we see him have faith in God because God had proven himself. When God says to Abraham, go, Abraham listens because he knows that God has his best interests in heart. And so it really boils down to having that faith and trust in God. We have to wrestle with that ourselves. We have to have this full understanding that, we either believe or we don't believe that God is in control. And if we believe that God is in control, then we know that sometimes things are going to happen a certain way. Sometimes bad things happen because we live in a world that's fallen. And so we have to just hold on to that belief that regardless of what is going on, God is still in control. That doesn't mean nothing bad is going to happen. That doesn't mean that everything is going to be perfect all the time. But it means that eventually God is going to restore this entire world back to the way it is meant to be. And so we can have that full trust in God. We can have that trust in him that he is in control because he's already proven himself over and over, whether through the Bible or in our own personal lives. Hope that answers your question for you, Ivy. Good question. Thank you for that. We are going to jump into round 2 right now because we don't want to keep you too long. We want to be done before 8 o'clock tonight. But we are going to be open up for questions again after round 2. So everyone ready? Everyone get ready. Jump in. Let me know in the chat. Are you ready for round 2? Get ready. It's going to be a good one. And I'll get the timer ready so everyone knows. Let me know. Say Yahoo, let's go. Say ready. Say I love pickles. And let me know in the chat if you're ready so that we can get going. All right. Let's go. Everyone looks like they're ready. I am going to put it up, and then I will start the timer once I take it down. So everyone ready? We're getting ready to put this up here. In 3, 2, 1. Have fun. There you go. right, less than 4 minutes. Sure thing. Nice. Just over 2 minutes to go. Is your technical problems with your getting a photo or taking a picture, Ivy? Just remember to send it to Naomi on Facebook. Awesome. Less than a minute to go. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. All right. How did everyone do? Is everyone back? Good to see. Well, we're going to have another couple minutes for another question. So if you can give a question in the chat while you're thinking of that. Last week we had a game where people had to reinvent a certain type of picture. There was a picture that I got it during the night, but I didn't realize that I received it. So I promised I would show it this week. So this was sent in by Terry Gilroy. And this is a picture that she sent in. It was a rendition of two cats kind of doing the Titanic pose together. So this is what she sent in with some food items. And I think she did a really good job with that. So she sent that in. Just wanted to share that with you tonight while we're waiting for another question. to show up in the chat. And again, remember, no questions are bad questions, and no questions are wrong. We look forward to answering any type of questions you might have. I know I have a lot of questions, even myself, still about the Bible and Christianity. And so feel free to talk. Give me a question to answer and wrestle with. And I'll be honest, if I don't know the answer to it, I'll let you know. And then I will do some research into the question and give you an answer next week. So, and if you have kids, maybe they have some questions that they might want to ask. You can ask them to give a question. I'd be more than happy to try and answer those tonight. So just let me know some questions in the chat. Surely there's got to be someone out there that has a question. I'll give about 10 more seconds, and then I have some questions that I had asked some other people to ask. But 10 more questions. If you have a question, just come on. All right. Well, we're gonna have another round for questions, and I want one from the chat the next time. So be thinking of them when you're going around for round 3. Be thinking of some kind of question you might have. But I asked some of my friends yesterday on the great thing of Facebook, and I asked them if they have any questions that they wanted answered. And so one of them came up, and they asked the question, what or which one of the commandments, as Christians, are there any of the commandments we are allowed to break, and is that okay? Well, the 10 Commandments, most of us know what the 10 Commandments are. Even if we don't go to church, we've heard them, don't lie, don't steal, don't covet after your neighbor's wife, that means don't commit adultery, don't use the Lord's name in vain, don't swear, have no other gods before me, those type of things with the commandments. But what the commandments really boil down to is we are called to love God and to love others. And so when you break it down to that right there, then there really isn't, it's not like the 10 Commandments were the Old Testament and now we have the church and we don't really have to listen to the 10 Commandments. No, we still are called to love God and to love others. And so that's basically what the commandments can be summed up into, is if you look at the 10 Commandments in the Bible found in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, the first 4 are basically all about loving God. And then this one was constantly reminded to me growing up. We get to the commandment that talks about honoring your father and your mother. As a young kid, my parents reminded me of that quite a lot, that was one of the commandments in the Bible that was still important to obey. My mom would often add later, honor your father and your mother so that you may live long. I don't know if that was a promise or a threat, but it was to let me know, I was called to honor them as my parents. And we are still called to honor our parents today. So these commandments haven't gone out of date. They're still called to love God and to love others. And so I know sometimes we forget about them, or maybe we just kind of throw them aside, thinking that there was something for way back then. But no, the commandments are still important today. They are still important to follow because they are connected to us loving God and loving others. So I know none of you asked that question. At least I don't think you did. I don't think the person's here that asked that question. But I hope that answered that question. But I want a question from the chat for the last question of the night. So be thinking of one. Again, doesn't have to be over the top. Doesn't have to be super complex. Doesn't have to be out of the blue. But I can't just give me a question. Give me something that I can answer for you, because I know we all have a bunch of questions in our minds right now. So I want to try and help you out with that. But we're getting ready for round 3. It is a close race. I'm being told by my wonderful, beautiful assistant over here that it is a close race going on right now. So if you think you're in the running, keep running because you're getting there close. Remember, the winner is going to receive a prize. I'm not going to tell you what the prize is until we get the winner. And I might not even announce the winner unless someone asks me a question in the chat. So we'll see how that goes. So if you want to know if you win, you have to let me know by asking the question in the chat. But who's ready for round 3? Let me know in the chat if you're ready for round 3. Be like, woo, let's go. Come on. Hurry up. And I will get ready to show you. And I'll keep them up for a little bit longer this time. Sorry for taking it down last time. All right. Looks like people are ready. Get ready in the chat. Let's go. Okay. So I'm going to put it up, and then the timer is going to begin. So you are going to have to get ready to go here. All right. Ready, set, go. All right, less than 4 minutes. Probably all looking for that fanny pack. All right, I'm going to take the products down. If you need to see it again, just let me know. We're getting done. I wonder who has a fanny pack? Like, who just has one sitting around? I haven't worn a fanny pack in, I don't even know, 15, 16 years. It was only because we were going on a mission trip and they were easy to carry things. Less than 2 minutes. I may have got a BBC fanny pack, Heidi. I don't remember if I actually did get one, or even if I did, I have no idea where it is. Yeah, it was 12 years ago when we would have got those. Crazy. All right. Well, Naomi is going to count the scores, but if you want to hear who wins, especially if you won, I need a question in the chat. Otherwise, we're not going to know who wins. I need a question. Can be anything. I know you guys all have some. Pondering different things in your mind. I know it can be a little scary trying to, asking a question like this in public, but it's just a way to get an answer. Nothing wrong. Ivy, that does not count. I did. Naomi's due in October, but that does not count as a question. Oh, Janet, is there an unforgivable sin? Oh, that is a good question. That's a very good question. Janet beat it. Doc Ock. Sorry, we'll have to save that one for another time. But is there an unforgivable sin? Now, I know there's, people have talked about that for years. Is there ever a point that you get to a point where God just doesn't forgive you? And the Bible doesn't really say, like, there's a point where you get outside of God's forgiveness. There is a part in the Bible where Jesus does talk about an unforgivable sin. And people have debated over this. They've talked about it for years and years and years and years and years. And I've looked into it a little bit myself. But basically, from my understanding of Scripture and my understanding of God, because God is love, God has mercy, God has grace. God is so graceful. And this is the power of the gospel right here. Because Jesus Christ died for us. He died on the cross for us so that we could become like him, so that we could become more like Christ, have his spirit living in us, so that we could have ourselves become the best versions of ourselves through God. Putting on the image of God. That's kind of what the Bible talks about. That's why Jesus died for us, so that we could be free from sin. And so the power of the gospel is so powerful that even if someone has lived in sin their entire life, and they weren't a nice person, I know stories. There's this story my father wrote about in his book about this lady. I'm not going to share her name, but it was this lady who she hated people. She wasn't nice to people. She didn't care about people, and she was crude and rude. And she went into a coma, and so her son asked my dad to go to the hospital and talk to her. And so he went to the hospital, but she's in a coma. So he just sits down, talks with her, tells her about Jesus, that Jesus loves her, that he wants to be with her and wants to forgive her and wants to make her new, into a new person. And then he left. A couple of weeks later, the son calls my dad up and says, "My mother wants to see the pastor that led her to Jesus." And so dad goes in, and when he goes in, this lady who, before, there was all these crude things that would come out of her mouth. She would call crude jokes. She would be swearing all the time. She was mean. She would gossip. She was very proudful and arrogant. And when he walked into this room, it was like he was seeing a whole new person. This person had changed because she met Jesus, and Jesus forgave her of her sins. And so that's the power of the gospel, that mercy can reach out even to people who have been away for so long. The gospel can still reach out and change them. So what does Jesus mean by an unforgivable sin? he says that it's called, this is the language that is used in the scripture. It says to blaspheme the Holy Spirit. Well, people don't really necessarily know what that means. So what did Jesus mean by that? Again, this is from my understanding. I could be wrong in this. This is from my understanding of scripture. What that means is that there may be a point in someone's life where they basically say, I want nothing to do with God. It doesn't matter if God himself even comes down and stands in front of me. I will not believe in him. I will not, worship him. I will not accept him. I will not do anything. If a person gets to that point where nothing will change their heart against God, then that's the unforgivable sin. It's not that Jesus can't forgive it. It's that person is making this decision that no matter what God does, they are not going to change. They are not going to listen to God. And so it's them shutting themselves off to God. And so the reason why that is called the unforgivable sin is because that person is making that choice that no matter what happens, they will not worship God. And so that's my understanding of what the unforgivable sin is. So if you are open to God, if you're open, maybe you're not following him, and maybe you've got away from following him, or you just don't know whether you want to follow him or not, that's not unforgivable. Everything is unforgivable. But when we get to that point where we stand in defiance before God and kind of wave our fists and say, I want nothing to do with you, and there's nothing you can do to change that, then that is when we close ourselves off to God. I hope that answers your question, Janet. Good question. Doc Ox, I see all those questions you're asking. Maybe we can get together for coffee sometime, and I can give you some answers for those and help you out once the quarantine lifts. Hopefully that will help. But those are some good questions too. Maybe we'll have some more Q&As later on, so maybe we can come back to those questions. But thank you for tonight, and we are going to announce our winner here. But I want to thank you for those who, whether you maybe you're not part of our church, maybe you haven't come to our church before, we want to welcome you. We thank you for being here tonight and for interacting with us. This happens every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So we look forward. Hopefully you can come back. If you'd like to know more, you can contact Naomi on Facebook and be like, hey, I really enjoyed. What else do you have going on? Well, if you're a teenager, we do have youth group on Friday nights. We have a youth page that you can look up. Again, Naomi can give you that information. So if you're interested in that, or if you know teenagers who might be interested in that, you can get in contact with Naomi. She can pass that along. And we also have Sunday mornings. Our Sunday mornings, you can follow us on our YouTube page right here. And our Sunday morning services are here every Sunday at morning around 9-10 a.m. And you can watch our sermons, and we have playlists of music to go on. You can watch those too. So if you don't have a church and maybe you're looking for one, then yes, we are more than happy to have you come and be a part of our church during this time. But we thank you for being here tonight. And yes, I would recommend the book, Let's Be Blunt by Evan Oxner. It is a great book. And if you are interested in getting a copy of that, then we encourage you to get a hold, again, of Naomi. She can help you with that and get to know. So anyways, we have our winner. We have a tie? Oh my goodness, we have a tiebreaker. Oh no, okay.
One item.
We need to break the tie to get this one item. We have a tie between Paul and Angela Terrio and the family, because I'm sure the girls are helping you out. And then Karen Coffin, Cheryl, and Dwayne York. There's a tie. They each have 29 points. So, no, I'm sorry, Doc Ox, you didn't tie. So we need an item. It has to be hard. I need an item in the chat. Give me some items in the chat right now. No. The prize is not one of your books, Evan. Sorry. Give me some items in the chat that I can think of, and I will pick one of them to see Paul and Angela, and then Karen, Cheryl, and Dwayne. You will have to race, and you will go once I put the timer up on the stream. have an apple. We have a sock with a hole in it. Give me some more items. Come on, keep them coming. All right. This one isn't in the chat, but my beautiful assistant has given me a wonderful answer. So I am going to put the timer up on the screen. And then you can go. Remember, you got to send it. They can't get a picture with you, Evan, if they're 6 feet apart from you. Anyways, this is what you have to get, okay? Terrios, let me know in the chat if you're ready. Cheryl and Dwayne, you can let Naomi know that you're ready. I am going to tell you. One item. First person to send it to Naomi wins. Let me know if you're ready. Okay? I know the Yorks are ready. Are the Terrios ready? Just let me know in the chat. Yorks and Karen, yes. Okay, they're ready. All right. Your item to get is a real, a fresh dandelion. Go. Do 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 do. Do 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 bomb bomb. Who's gonna be the fastest one? Who's gonna get it? Who do you think is gonna win? Let me know in the chat who you think is gonna win. Yes, my other lovely assistant is my wife.
Hey yo!
There was a 10-second difference between them sending in the picture. I don't think we've seen this close in years, people. Let me know. The winners of the scavenger hunt for the second Amherst Live night is, drumroll, the Yorks and Karen Coffin. Congratulations! Woo-woo! Good job, everyone. 10 seconds! 10 seconds. If you had Usain Bolt, I don't even think you could have beat them. Like, man. That's a good picture.
It was a 10-second difference.
Oh, so close. You know what? You know what? I think because of that, second place has to get a prize too. So, this is what we're going to do. First place, you have to let us know. But first place, you get a $20 gift card to a restaurant of your choosing. So, let us know what you would like, and we'll get that for you and get it delivered. Second place, you're going to get a $15 gift card to a restaurant of your choice. So congratulations. If you weren't that close, we probably wouldn't have done a second place prize, but because it was tied and there was a 10-second difference between the pictures, we're going to honor that and give second place a prize tonight. Good job, everyone. I'm glad you had a great time. We look forward to seeing you guys next week at 7 p.m. But next week is a special edition of Amherst Live. So this is what we need you to do, however. Next week, Amherst Live is going to be Amherst Funniest Home Videos. So, what that means is you need to either send me or Naomi videos that we can put on the stream next week of some funniest home videos. There's going to be some videos of me. There's one on there. You're going to see that I am not a morning person. Tell you that. So we need some funny home videos. You can send them to me. I'm going to be looking for people online, too, to send those in. And we will have a great time. You can send them to me. You can upload them to me. maybe have to upload them to a Google file. But if you want to send me a video, if you have some videos to send me, contact Naomi, and we will get that ready for next week. It's going to be great. It's going to be funny. You don't want to miss it. You might want to invite your friends. Be like, they're having funny home videos next week. So it's going to be a great time. And you can get some snacks ready. You have a full week to get ready for this. But we're excited for that next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. You won't want to miss it. Funny home videos. It's going to be great. All right, everyone, we thank you for tonight. Hope everyone has a great night. Hope you have a good night's rest and good night's sleep. And we look forward to connecting with you again. I'm going to end it off with, again, some nice music in our title card. See you, everybody. Have a good night.